What's up, YouTubers? Welcome back to our channel. After an exciting, explosive weekend, we are here to bring you a recap and some updates of today's opinions and footage and reactions from other people all around the country, the world, because this is the slap that went and was heard around the world. I knew it too. I knew it by that evening. I said, you know what? Everybody's going to be talking about this. And sure enough, I mean, I didn't have to be no crystal ball reader to figure that one out. But yes, it was something that everyone was going to be talking about, and we're going to make sure we get our last bit in before we do. But what I would like to remind you guys to do, if you haven't done so previously already, to go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please make sure you get over to our Facebook channel and go ahead and follow us on our Facebook. As you see, we got some pretty big numbers there. We're over 21,000, and we're looking to just help make it so that the media content provider and the musician, the artist, whatever it is that you do, has more visibility with NetStarz Live. As you can see, we do a lot of things. We got extended applications for iOS, Android, Roku TV, Amazon TV, LG TV, Samsung TV, any kind of TV, we're going to get you on there. So, with that being said, everybody sees what the thumbnail is, and it's all about the slap. The slap heard around the world. I mean, to tell you, if anybody got any inclination that this was a fake setup or some sort of a prop or something like that, then trust and believe. If you could hear it, if you just hear it, and we're gonna have some footage of how it heard, what it sounded like, you'll know that this was the real deal. What's up, Grown Man Talk? Salute, man. Thank you for coming aboard. Got two of my favorite guys right here already checking in. Looking at Rapper J, what's going on with you, brother? How you doing? As you can see, we hitting the topic that everybody's been hitting, but I have to say, when this went down, I was up about 1 o'clock at night, already putting it down, and I got some nice numbers behind it. So what I want to do is kind of delve into some of the reaction to the incident, the slap. As you know, there was a lot of people who were, chiming in and saying that, one way or another, was Will right? Was he wrong? Was he, a Mac for the slack? Or was he, a simp for doing what he did? But, we all got our rights to our opinions. That's what makes it all so beautiful. But the main thing being is that, and I have to say, and I got this title, The Good. So we're going to start there, all right? The good is that our man, the alleged so-called victim, Chris Rock, did not file any charges. He took that blow. He took it like a man, and he did not go down. His knees didn't even buckle. It wasn't nothing, where he was even looking like he was going to go down, although he was a little bit rattled. And I get it. I mean, he wasn't. I don't think he was expecting that. You know what I'm saying? As far as that Will was gonna walk up here and do that. Nobody in the building thought he was gonna do that. I don't even think Jada thought he was gonna do that. For that much saying. But the point being is that, as you can see, it was an open-handed slap for those people that are going around saying he socked him. No, that's not the case. That is not the case. He slapped him, which I don't know if that might even be worse. You know what I mean? That might even be worse. It's like, for a man to slap another man, and there wasn't a fight ensuing after the slap. It's kind of, I have to say, it's kind of demeaning. In fact, it's kind of insulting. You have to kind of get over that, and and I don't think there is no getting over, especially with the stage that it happened on, a worldwide stage. So, you know, it's so many different reactions, so many takes on this stuff. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to separate them and get into the good parts of it. Like I said, the first parts of it. Well, obviously, Will Smith won his first Oscar for King Richard. And if you don't know what that's about, the King Richard story is about the father of Venus and Serena Williams, okay? Two beautiful, gifted athletes that we've been fortunate enough to have blessing our stages in our lifetime with their athleticism and their grace, and always staying out of the way of any kind of drama or anything like that. You don't ever hear their names popping up and nothing like that. But this was the closest they had got to something like this. Okay, it's like essentially they were just casual casual victims to the circumstances, like we all were, you know. But it was a good night, other than the fact that, yes, Will did get in his feelings and he slapped some sense in the Chris Walk, according to him, because Will was just tired of him coming at his wife. This isn't the first time. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna, show you some after clips of the party that they were doing, that they went to after he won the highlight of the night, which was the Oscar Best Actor in a Picture for King Richard. And as you can see, it doesn't look like he's feeling too bad right there. And there's his wife Jada on the side. Everybody's pointing the wheel like, "You the man." And trust me, I think he was the. I know what he did, but I'm gonna leave to the side about what he should have did, what he did, because that don't matter. It's your opinion that matters right now. But as you can see, Will is having a good time. Everybody around him is having a good time. And so we're going to say, you know what? That is what definitely uh, fills in the category of the good. And as you can see, him and wifey are very happy, very, very happy. And I have to say, to be honest with you, I never really knew that Jada had a hair issue or some sort of a disease or whatever they call it, something that would cause her hair to fall out. I always knew that she just had the propensity to have short hair, but she looked damn sexy when she was having the short hair. It did not bother me. Okay. I just felt like, was she one of them sisters that got short hair? But I see right now she's rocking it all the way down, which saying something. Now, one thing I do know, and from the culture that I'm from, hair is almost everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm from a Native American background, and we pride ourselves in the hair, and Native American women, they pride themselves to the extent where, when they get into a shameful situation, or when they're having a bad time going through emotionals, or they want to give an offering up, they cut off their hair. because there's a power in that. And so when women lose their hair, and I'm sure this is transcendent amongst all ethnic groups, when they don't have their hair, I'd have to say it does affect them. And she has made it known that that this is what she's been going through. So this is a point that she's like, well, I'm going to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? And her way of dealing with this is like, look, I'm about to rock my fade out here. I don't care who sees or what anybody says or whatnot. Long as it's whatever. Respectful and whatnot. It is what it is. And shout out to her, man. Salute to her for trusting in her own in her own beauty and her own persona. Although we all know that Jada got some issues. She got some issues, and they have been affecting Will, and it just makes it like, you know, if she could just get around, her. Well, I don't even want to use the word "get around" because that's kind of what she's been doing a little bit. She's been getting around, and it's affecting Will. Obviously, it's affecting Will all day. It has to be. His emotional stability was gone. How you doing, Miss Daisy? Welcome to the platform. Thank you for coming through. And Miss Daisy says, right, Jada always had a shortcut. She's known for that, but she does have alopecia. I believe that's how you say it. And I wasn't aware of that. So, but I did become aware of it once this issue happened. And it's something for it's something for people to be respectful about it. Anything that affects you to where you're not having, the full physical attributes that you desire, and that whether it's that obesity or diabetics or whatever, it's not something you really just make fun of people about. Now, they're saying that Chris Rock did not know that she had an issue. But it's like, to be honest with you, you know, she was making it public to a lot of people, and she had a few times where she got on her show, and she said, this is what I'm suffering from and whatnot. So it was kind of common knowledge to a lot of people. But what isn't common knowledge to a lot of people is the fact that there have been issues, and this is the bad. We're getting into the bad. There have been issues with her and Chris Rock before. Okay, for whatever reason, Chris Rock he gets a he gets a hard on when he wants to go in on somebody, and it just happens to be Jada a few times in the past. Okay, now I'm assuming Will he didn't let it slide. Like, okay, you did that. Okay, I'm saying it wasn't that big of a stage, and it definitely wasn't Will's night of him getting the Oscar. So he just like brushed them past issues under the carpet. Now, mind you, I don't know how the Oscars are set up with the scripting of the show and as they go along, or the monologues and whatnot, but it seems to me like they would have some safety measures in place. Especially if you're going to start dragging somebody. It's like, I mean, there's this like seems to me like this could have been avoided had Chris would have just walked up and said, "Look, man, I got this joke I'm gonna say about your wife. You want to hear it? You know what I'm saying?" And so that she would have been prepared, or they could have said, "Look, man, it's not funny to her, man." So, man, I would advise you not to do it. Give Chris the option of not getting the shit slapped. See, but the writers are the people that give Chris the script. He's just reading a script. So this is the bad part. He doesn't get a chance to, more or less deviate from what it is that the writers and whatnot are allowing to be content. So this show was like, I believe, one of the first times. Not only was it was executively produced by blacks, by minorities. It was our show. Let's just say that it was our show. We winning the Oscar. We producing the show. We got Chris Rock as the MC. It's our show, and everything was cool, right? Everything was cool, and then the bad happened. You know, it's inevitable wherever we go.
Are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
So right there, history was made, but it's a bad history. Let's just say that. And we're looking at Chris. He really absorbed that blow. If you see, he took that blow like he was in a slapping contest because Will Smith gave him the full follow through. Look where his wrist is. I mean, he reached back from his back pocket all the way over to his front pocket and gave Chris the business. And all we could do is just feel for Chris because at that moment, I'm like, I'm looking at Chris like, okay, Will done manned up and turned around and turned his back and everything. I'm like, well, Chris, are you gonna hook him from behind right about now, or what are you gonna do? This is when the whole thing could have went left. We'd have seen two brothers fighting in the middle of the Oscar, right at the grand moment, and it would have been like the whole world seen this, and then they would have said what they always do. Whenever we show up, we blow up. We'd have tow up the whole party and get them up out of here. and, it's crazy. So I don't know. It's just to me, you know, this day just said, no, history was made. Yeah, not history. Respect was made, and this is the I'm getting out of it. Okay, we know the bad part. We know the good, the bad. We sum it up as like, okay, a man stuck up for his wife. He did what he did. He didn't care where he was at. He didn't care who was listening. He didn't care who was watching. He's like, dude, you disrespected my wife. This ain't the first time. He said, and I seen that she wasn't feeling it. At first, I was like, it was cool until I saw her. And then when I seen her, I just got in my feelings and came up there and smacked the shit out of you. I get it. I get it. Okay. And then the good part was is that Chris took it like a man. He didn't, turn it into a full on squab and a fade. He just like kept being professional, stayed within himself. And although there were some moments that that I heard him say, well, I could, and I'm like, oh shit, don't do it, Chris. Don't expose yourself. I know you're feeling a little salty right now, but don't expose yourself because uh, the snitch word is not good right now. Even though it happened in public and on television, it pretty much tells on itself. But you don't want to be lined up that way. And so he recouped himself and he's like, he shook it off. And he didn't say it, but I thought he was gonna say it. I thought he was gonna say, I could throw your ass in jail. And in fact, the police, the Los Angeles Police Department, approached him and asked him, is that what he wanted to do? So I just have to say, shout out to, Chris Rock for not fulfilling that part and making everybody a complete loser that night. So we all got to know that, there's so many different sides to this. But at the end of the day, it's like, if anybody's ever played sports or anything like that, you got two men here. They're on the playing field. Words are getting exchanged. It's a heated moment. You slap one's helmet and you slap the other one slapped the helmet back. And they might even get penalized. They might even get thrown out the game. But at the end of the day, nobody's going to jail. And that's what I can appreciate about this moment. But the part that's making me say that this is, could lead more than further than a bad situation, make it into an ugly situation, is the fact that the Academy Awards, and I don't know if they're just doing this for their own protection, they got some old school cats up there that run that platform, that business, and they're saying, we got to do our own investigation. Now that's kind of spooky, when you got two people who have already agreed to, okay, I'm gonna let it go. That puts it into the realm of, well, we might have to let the authorities do what they do. I even heard it said about people who said, um, well, in the state of California, we really don't need a witness. We already got the witness. That's the TV. So, well, we can, go further and press charges and whatnot. And that's the ugly part. Who wants to see it go further than that? Not me. I don't think he should be in jail. You know what I'm saying? But I also don't think, that Chris Rock should have said something about his wife. And not in that platform, not on Oscar night, not when Will was winning the Oscar, and all that. It's like, no, everybody's in their feelings, and this is what you get. This is the ugly part. It makes it so that, we look bad as not only as entertainers and artists and professionals, but ultimately as a people. They love to throw that tag on us. We can't come together and do nothing. So here we got Denzel and uh, um, this other guy, I forgot his name. I'm still laughing from this shit. They're consoling Will. Will know he kind of fucked up. He made a mistake, but Denzel said the bar of the night. Said something you could just go with. Something you could just. I would say everybody incorporate this into your lifestyle and realize. He said, it's when you're having your finest moment and you're at the top. That's when the devil comes for you. I was like, ooh. And I'm, reflecting and looking back at all the situations. He's right. He's right. When you're having your moment, that's when you have to, you know, exercise discernment and even humility and humbleness and that was speaking from a veteran. That's who Denzel is in the entertainment game. He's a veteran, having won Oscars and did all these multiple runners ups and all that. He's like, he's the icon. At least definitely for black men as far as being actors and all that. And it's like everybody want to be like Denzel, and Denzel spoke some true game on Will at that moment, and it worked. It calmed him down. It's like, man, you got to look at the field for what it is, man. You're going to get tested immediately as soon as you get the crown put on your head. And that explains it all. Shout out to Denzel for reaching out to Will and doing the big brother on him and saying, like, look, man, let me give you some game right quick and calm Will down. Because this could have got really ugly. In fact, this could have got real, real bad. So that's what I mean by saying the good and the bad and the ugly. The ugly part being is like people are trying to get the ball rolling to try to have Will prosecuted. No, these two guys, although they haven't talked, Will did get online and he just thought about it. It didn't take him but a day to think about it. And he made a public an apology. He said, violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed about my actions and they were indicative of the man I want to please. There is no place for violence in the world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all of the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret the behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. Shout out to Will for that. At this point, I don't even know what people know why Will was winning an award. He was there winning an award for the movie King Richard, and that was represented. That was the storyline about the Williams family and their journey to greatness. And Will obviously did an excellent job. And it's like, if not for this moment, it really, really, really made it so. It did put a stain on the campaign. I have to say that. It put a stain on the campaign. And I just hope that, these two gents can work it out. To be honest with you, I heard, and I do have that. Let me put that up here. Here's some talk back as far as some feedback as far as after the event. And some people were saying some things that we might want to pay attention to.
I don't think there's any reason to jump on stage and punch somebody. Violence is, just go, hey, 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 this is not cool.
I know Will very well, and I love him. I think he's a great man. And if anybody insulted my wife, I'd be pretty angry too.
There's one big elephant that was in that room in the Dolby Theatre.
Right.
And that is Will Smith and the Chris Rock moment.
I was backstage when it went down. So I came out two things later, so I don't really have much to say about it.
It's painful. It's painful to see people in pain doing, but this is Hollywood.
I believe whatever he felt that he did, he had the right to do. I also felt there were 3 losers in one fight.
It was a very intense moment and gives a new meaning to the term punchline.
Sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
Jim Carrey weighing in on Will Smith's Oscar controversy during a new interview with Gayle King for CBS Mornings.
They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous.
Jim Carrey was on hand promoting his new movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but yeah, he made it clear how he felt about Will Smith's actions on Sunday night.
You do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
Since Sunday night, the Academy has launched a formal review into Smith's actions on stage, and Will has since issued a statement apologizing to Chris Rock, saying in part, quote, I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I was embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness.
First of all, do you know like that joke that Chris did? I remember when that movie came out, and that was a way to insult a woman, her sexuality, her physique. It was a way to call a woman a homosexual, basically. And she's sitting right next to her. It was like that. I remember that in school. That they would do that to people. You know, it's kind of messed up.
So I kind of want to give a little bit more here in regards to Tiffany Haddish. I did a little follow-up on her prior to this, before I even started getting into the story, and I went a little bit viral with her coverage and interview that she did with Entertainment Tonight. So give me a second. I'm going to set up the screen share for that, and we're going to go there and get her story off the rip. What's up, YouTubers? Welcome back to the channel. Oh, yeah, I forgot to add it on. You're right, Jay. Let me get it in there.
A costume. I'm wearing Dolce & Gabbana. It's called an evening gown, darling. This is not, no one's paying me for this. I paid for it. It's custom. Thank you.
Time of death for me right now. You look gorgeous.
This is not an acting gig. This is my life. This what fame look like. This what success look like. This what money look like. This what it look like. It's what it look like.
When is your book coming out called This What It Looked Like? And I will just read the entire book.
That book's not coming no time soon, but I Curse You With Joy will be out in November.
Okay.
And Layla, The Last Black Unicorn, will be out next month.
I'm doing so much right now. Okay.
I'm just, trying to accomplish a lot of things before 50. What are you doing?
Well, I'm wondering something.
You out here with no shoes on, I'm jealous.
No shoes on. Here's the thing. I'm from Chicago.
And you out here with no shoes on?
This is warm weather to me.
I know, it's hot out here to you, right?
Okay.
I appreciate you.
You know I gotta ask you.
You're not uncomfortable in there,
I'm not, but you know I gotta
I know,
ask.
because you're not wearing no heels. You comfortable in the mud. I'm uncomfortable, but I look good. This is what it look like.
Would you define tonight as uncomfortable?
No, I would define tonight as a success.
Okay.
It was a great night tonight.
Okay, what did you...
First of all, I seen a man stand up for his wife, which we don't see that much anymore. That made me have hope. How about you? How did you feel about it?
I wanted your opinion on it because you're a comedian. And so it was that thing where, like, was that joke too far? How did you feel about what Will did? Because you are someone who's done comedy, and yet, like you just said, you saw a man defending his wife.
Yeah. I want to know how you felt about it. Would you want your husband to do that for you if you was clearly hurt? I mean, they put her face up on the screen. He looked over at his wife. She was hurt. What would you want?
I would want him to defend me. The thing that made me sad was, like, this was a big night for Will. And then you saw that emotion for him, and it was like, God, it's just, I don't think I've still processed how this night went, you know?
Well, I just know she better take care of business when they get home. Because I know I would. If my man did that for me, I'm just saying, yellow.
Did you talk to either of them tonight?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Did you tell them how you felt?
Oh, they know how I feel.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, they know how I feel. That's my friends. Yes. They know.
Well, you go way back with them to some of the...
To girls' trip.
Yes.
Yeah. They know my crazy.
Yes.
You know. Yeah.
Well, it was incredible to watch Will up there, T1. How did you feel watching him give that speech?
I felt very proud. I felt gratified. And I just hope that more men are like that. Care about their families. Now, it's not just about you, right? It's not just about you, sir. What about your family, the people you create, the people that help you be who you are? That's important. That's what I think America forgot about.
What do you say to people who are critiquing him online right now?
Yeah, what you doing for your family? Who you protect?
Okay, by the way, what can we expect from the book? Because we all want to read it.
What you think? I curse you with joy. What you think you gonna get out of that? You think you about to get the tea, honey? Are you thirsty? You ready for some tea time? Read that book. That part. She ready. Now I gotta go take these pictures. I got a limited time on my feet. I see you already took your shoes off. What about my feet? What about my feet?
I want your feet to feel good, Tiffany.
Girl, if you see my feet right now, they start talking to you. They be like, Kaliman Shakti Day, Kaliman Shakti Day. Girl, they talking Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, okay? I got to go.
So there is a good example. So what we got here is a good example of how the women feel about the aspect of what Will did, which was to me was an honorable thing. Now of course not everybody agrees with that. I get it, but the point being is that he was definitely in his rights to defend his wife. To what extent is going to be debatable. So, with that being said, I'm going to leave it in everybody else's hand in the comment section and everybody else to say, do you agree with that? Do you feel like that was a thing that we needed to support, or was that a thing that we needed to criticize? I don't know. I felt like with the way it went down, that there's a time and place for everything. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And both of them guys were using bad timing as far as Chris joking about his wife on Will's biggest night on the stage and whatnot, and Will, getting up out of the seat and retaliating about it. I really believe that Chris should have made it into comedy when he seen Will coming. He should have jogged off and been like, okay, Will. And then when they got back behind the curtain, be like, man, look, man, tell me what's on your mind. Because I don't know about you, but the way Will was walking, I could see that it was about to go down. But Chris stood his ground, and that kind of cost him. I don't know to what extent, but all I know is that he definitely seen some stars and some lightning bolts. So we're all gonna learn from this. And I believe in wrapping this up, saying, what what is permissible, not permissible. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to the concerns of your loved ones, your family, and your wife, who God has said nobody comes before. And with that being said, all I can say is, whatever Will felt at that moment, I can understand it, because I know there's been times that I have felt people disrespecting, and I've been willing to put my freedom on the line behind my wife and my family, and just it is what it is. So I would, this point, not judge a man for that. Only thing I could say is I would want to be like Denzel and those guys, just console the man. Let him know, like, look, okay, you had a moment. We understand. Let's just regroup and move forward. And they did a good job of that. So shout out to all those people supporting a black man and making sure that it didn't get any worse than it could. A slap is a whole lot different than an out and out fight. You know what I mean? And that's where it could have went. And that would have been the ugly, ugly part of it all. So hopefully nothing happens and no charges. Chris has already said he ain't gonna do that. But mind you, a point was made by the other comedian. He said, hey, I'll be suing him for like 200 million. And who knows? That door is open for Chris. He might be like, man, I ain't doing as well as you. I might have to take you to the bank. And there could be a little settlement made because let's just face it, Chris got to live with that for the rest of his life. Most definitely. That wasn't only the slap heard around the world, that was a slap into the future. So with that said, this is your boy NetStarz checking out, man. Thank y'all for coming on board. And remember, most definitely stay in touch with our channel. Make sure you keep subbing. Shout out to the Facebook group for making them numbers pop. You guys supporting all the videos and whatnot. And man, let's keep it going on purpose. On purpose. All right now.